All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel here. Today I just want to give you a little review or update. So I made a little switch here, as you can see from the title here, a comparison between some shocks here. So you can see I got a full set here of the Bilstein 5100s front and rear for my F-150. That's what I had on previously, actually. And so today I want to give you a little review or update. You can see the springs there. I got the Eibach Pro Truck lift setup. So this is the Eibach brand. I'll show you over here. Front and rear, I got a full setup. So these are the rear ones. So that's what I'm comparing with you today, or give you a little bit of update between the differences if you're in the market for a new set of shocks, perhaps looking to get some lift or level with your truck, and perhaps a better ride quality too. So a little bit of backstory or research here. I've done some research through Shock Surplus. They have a couple good articles as well as videos kind of comparing and contrasting the various popular brands such as Eibach, or particularly Eibach, Bilstein, and the Fox, is it the IFP or 2.0 shocks as well, that are common to a lot of F-150s or half tons, even Jeeps, etc. So, and they've kind of alluded to a summary saying that the kind of in a ranking order, that the Fox shocks are kind of a more plush, soft ride quality type deal. And then kind of going up from there, the Bilsteins that we have here are much more other end of the spectrum, which is a much firmer, sporty car type, stiff type ride feel. So I wouldn't say stiff, but more planner controlled. And then recently they've got some videos kind of showing that these Eibachs here have landed in the middle. So between Shock Surplus's reviews, some other forums I've been reading, that's where I settled on these Eibachs when I was looking for a replacement. So they kind of say the Fox IFP shocks are kind of on the softer end of the spectrum. These Eibachs are kind of like, I think they reference Goldilocks in the middle. So they're right in the middle between the Foxes and the Bilstein. So, so that's why I went with these. To be honest, the Bilsteins were good. They're definitely an upgrade over stock. However, I have about a little over 20,000 miles on them now. And when you couple those with oversized, like these are 295/70, so 34-inch tires, specifically E-range tires, it's a much firmer ride than I really wanted. They're still firm regardless of the Template tires. However, I think the valving with these Eibachs, I've had them on for a little over 1,500 miles now, excuse me. And definitely a difference in ride. So right away I could tell they kind of absorb a lot of potholes and bumps and off-road articulation, in my opinion, a lot better. So, every shock is suited differently for applications or people's needs. But yeah, I had these for a little over 20,000, like I said, about 2 years. And they were great. They're just a little too stiff or harsh for my liking. So where these shine, I would say, is towing applications, or if you're hauling heavy loads constantly. Mind you, this is my daily driver, so I do some towing here and there, and hauling obviously, but most part commuting back and forth to work. So these really shine with towing situations. In my opinion, they're a little harsh for off-road applications, I think, so that's where I landed with the Eibachs. I do know the Foxes. I've never had a set, but I have read the reviews, and you can just kind of see the way that vehicles articulate. I think in my preference is it's probably a little too soft, so I wanted something in the middle, which is where I landed with the Eibachs. So backstory again as to why I replaced these initially, kind of a little too firm of a ride for me personally. But more importantly, I actually noticed this front passenger side one here. You can probably see there's some oil slippage there, spillage there. This one actually blew a seal, I believe. So I had quite a bit of oil on my control arms and stuff, which is what led me to look for a replacement anyways. So I was planning to replace them regardless. So then that's where I went with the Eibach set. So now I did have this Eibach Pro lift spring here as well, if you've seen from my other videos on lifts. And that gets you a 2.7 inches of lift, at least on the F-150s, versus the 2.1 or 2 inches I think that you can get if you just use the stock spring. So a little bit more lift. I think that's a good way to get more lift, ground clearance. But also the spring is in theory from Eibach tuned for the shock itself, so it should only enhance the ride quality as well. So that's the reason I did that. So I guess for the Bilsteins as well, I ran this same spring too, if you saw my previous videos. But yeah, I guess that's the only change point there is the Eibachs versus the Bilsteins. So yeah, a little over 20,000 miles. I don't know if this is just a bizarre episode here where this one blew, but working through a warranty process here with Eibach as well. Perhaps they'll give me a replacement, we'll see. But I thought that was very premature for failure. So, you know, primarily a commuter vehicle, mild off-road use, mild towing, that kind of thing. Nothing too strenuous for these shocks. I thought that was kind of bizarre or premature for fail. So, but the rears held up perfectly great. They're fine. So yeah, just thought I'd give you a review, you guys, to give you an idea if you're in the market for new shocks for your vehicle. In my case, the F-150. So comparing these between the two, if I had to pick, I'd go with the Eibachs, as they're about the same price point, within dollars of each other, and I think they ride a little bit better, especially coupled with oversized tires. If you got low range E tires, or heavier tires for that matter, I think it's a better ride for daily driving. And like I said, if you're towing or hauling, I'd probably go towards these. I think that's where these definitely shine. These are good as well. These are just the Eibachs are just a little bit softer, if you will, in terms of compression and rebound. So I think the tuning or the valving on them is a little bit different. I think regardless, they're both a good upgrade over the factory shock. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll post a couple articles in the description of this video as well that kind of help you, maybe help direct you or give you a better understanding of the shock differences and what you're looking for if you're looking to upgrade shocks. So in retrospect, real quick too, I guess when I did order these 2 years ago, I was initially trying to get these just on the little bit of research I'd had. However, these were on back order for several weeks, if not months, if I remember. Actually months. I think I waited 3 months on an order for the Eibachs. So then I found the Bilsteins were available, so I went with those. So I was originally planning on going with the Eibachs. However, due to the COVID stuff a couple years ago, they were on a long back order. So, and I needed something as my stock shocks. I think I had one of the seals blow on one of those as well, so I needed to get something quicker than that. But yeah, I'll post a couple links in the descriptions, like I said, to help give you more familiarity and background. There's not a whole lot of videos comparing the two, but Shock Surplus, like I mentioned, does a really good job. That's kind of what pointed me to these shocks, describing the differences between the Fox, I think it's the IFP 2.0 shocks, the Eibach Pro Truck Lift Kit, and then the Bilstein 5100s. So hopefully that gives you better clarity and understanding of what you're looking for. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.